Chicago's Motor Row was founded to showcase a brand new invention, the automobile. From 1905 until 1936, more than 100 different cars were on display side by side in a 28-acre district. It was considered a street of dreams.
The new book, Chicago's Motor Row, looks at the history of it all, including the landmarks that remain in place to this day. Joining us now are John Hogan and John Maxson. They're the authors of the new book. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
My pleasure.
I was saying to Larry, I grew up in Chicago, and I don't think I've ever heard the phrase Chicago's Motor Row unless I'm just completely out of it. Is this something a lot of people might not be aware of?
Well, it's one of the reasons we wrote the book, because we figured that there would be people who had not heard about it, and it was our pleasure to rekindle old memories or maybe bring a new idea to people that hadn't heard of it before.
And talk about where it is and how it started.
Yeah, first of all, it brings back an era of excitement that was only identified by the car back in those days. It starts at about 1400 South Michigan Avenue and goes through the Stevenson Expressway. And there are 56 landmark buildings that are former dealerships or, accessory stores, that sort of thing.
So it's not unusual to go to some suburb and see some stretch of road with 5 dealers on it. But that's not what this was. How was this different?
The dealerships were side by side, and they operated much like department stores do. They sold the cars out of plate glass windows. Instead of looking in the window and seeing clothes or shoes or whatever, you'd look in and see an automobile. And they were side by side, as John mentioned. There were over 100 of them.
Wow.
And some of these buildings are landmarks, and they're trying to preserve them, right? So let's start with some of the pictures from the book.
Sure.
The first dealership, 1444 South Michigan, done by an architect, was pretty famous. Can we show that picture?
That's the 1444
There
South
we go.
Michigan. There it is.
That's not it, but that'll do. That was the McHugh construction building.
I don't think any of these are we going in order here?
I
Nope,
think we're
don't know
just
what we're
scrolling
doing
through
here.
them.
All right. Just as a comment, these were premier architects that did big buildings downtown, but went and did these.
There's Ford.
Yeah, this is the Ford building there. We just passed it, 1444 South Michigan. Christian Ekstrom. Ekstrom did that, and he's famous for all kinds of other things, but to do a little dot in the city that's such a beautiful little work of art like that was really unusual.
Well, it's great that we held on to these because a lot of cities they're just mowing things down.
Oh, yeah.
How big of a fight was that, and how significant are these buildings?
What
are they being used for now?
It was a big fight.
Yeah.
Motor Row was on the verge, at least the initial buildings were on the verge of being torn down and replaced by condos and high-rises and whatever. It was really a last-ditch fight. The story was, we could never really confirm it, was that at the time, then Mayor Richard M. Daley was living nearby. And he didn't want that to happen. He stepped in, interceded, and his word became law, and we were left with the historic district instead of rows of high-rises.
And I'm looking at names of some of these cars. People who aren't, I'm not a car person, but I hear Maxwell and some of these names that I didn't even know were cars. Did they originate there, or they?
No, these were all cars that were sold nationally. There were 2,500 makes of cars at the dawn of the automobile age, mostly wagon and bicycle companies that started making motorized vehicles.
Yeah.
So you go down at Motor Row today, though, and you'll see the names Premier, Locomobile, Buick, still on the buildings. So
I wonder if that time where today, pretty much everybody can afford some kind of automobile, and at some point during the Chicago Motor Row that it was only for the wealthy?
Well, primarily, the average person had to work a year to earn enough money to buy a moderate automobile back in those days. And it really was. It was the automobile was a plaything for the rich back then. Many of the automobile owners had chauffeurs to drive the cars, and they had more than one car. So there was really quite an evolution that sprang forth.
I find it so interesting that Motor Row is so close to where they hold the Chicago Auto Show every year. Do they ever try and tie anything in with those two? I mean, it's literally right there.
Motor Row was Chicago's year-round auto show.
Yeah.
It really was. People could take them out of these dealerships that we're looking at, take them out onto Michigan Avenue, which was ideal for test drives, and drive up and down the street.
It's interesting that Jay Leno helped us with the book.
Yeah.
He wrote the foreword. And he brought up exactly what you did, that this was a time where the car was something different. I mean, it was something that when you owned a car for the first time, think what that did It increased your mobility. It added status. It was a dream that people had that couldn't be duplicated anywhere else, and certainly isn't today.
Yeah.
I mean, when a person buys a new car, of course, you love it for a week or whatever, but it's a
Yeah.
commodity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You know, and you see, acres of new cars.
Right. Yeah.
These were 3 or 4 cars in a showroom indoors, and you can imagine the excitement.
Well, you got to check it out. It's called Chicago's Motor Row. John Hogan, John Maxson, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Nice to see you both.
Time now.